Welcome to Defiance, Ohio. Out here, we find the Northtowne Mall, which appears to have fallen on hard times. However, the remaining businesses appear to still be hanging on. So let's tour the mall and discuss its situation. Alright, we already have a problem. There's next to no history on this mall, and searching for Northtowne Mall online is almost guaranteed to take me to a mall in Toledo that doesn't even exist anymore. But I found something anyway. Newspapers comes out for me again. Northtowne Mall starts out a bit later than usual, opening its doors for the first time on April 2nd, 1986, according to the Fulton County Expositor. The grand opening ceremonies would be held from May 1st to May 4th with a ribbon-cutting ceremony, clown and band performances, a fashion show, and appearances by soap opera stars. Quite a fanfare, with Elder-Beerman, JCPenney, and Ames as original anchors, while Revco Drug would serve as a secondary anchor. Now, details are still hard to come by, and while I could take the lazy route of relying on other creators who did all the dirty work, I'm just not interested. And I'll let you in on this, that happens a lot more than you realize, and it is not exclusive to me. Now, we do know that Elder-Beerman remained as an anchor all the way until their parent company's bitter end in 2018, with said company, Bonton, filing for bankruptcy and liquidating all assets. JCPenney also remained a part of the mall, making it a little bit further to the beginning of the terrible 20s before bankruptcy took them out. Although JCPenney still lives on today, their location in Defiance was given the axe. I think that security guard gave me a couple looks, but you know what? He never actually said anything, and that's good enough for me. Besides, I'm not bothering anybody, am I? Before we continue with the history, take a look at that food court. Is that not the quirkiest food court you've seen? I wonder what that raised platform was used for. Band performances? Reserved space for a couple? Or VIPs? Now, Ames, unfortunately, is murky, to put it nicely. No resource I could find gives me a date on when the store closed, and any resource that could have provided an answer has been removed due to poor site maintenance. But when it did close, it would get replaced by Sears shortly after. Sears would last until April 2016. No surprises there. Meanwhile, that movie theater we saw earlier would have closed in 2022, shortly before my time, but it was reported that a replacement company would come in to reopen the theater by early 2023. Northtowne Mall is struggling, and its glory days are over. That is clear to me. However, I can admire and even respect a company that refuses to give up. The theater is coming back in the form of Phoenix Theaters, and it's an interesting move to say the least. And it's not like there aren't still shopping options in the mall. You have Maurice's, TJ Maxx, and Dunham Sports. A church has taken up residence in the old Elder-Beerman, and additionally, it appeared as if there was work being done in the former Sears to bring another tenant in, which would later be Hobby Lobby. If there is one future I can see for this mall, It is a shift towards a mixed-use community mall, and sometimes that may be all you need. Of course, speculation is never certain, and anything can happen. Whatever the case, however, I hope the current owners, J.J. Gumberg Company, the best in the future. Is it possible to make the color white look cool and aesthetic? Well, whoever designed Northtowne Mall certainly thinks so, and I think they did a respectable job actually. It actually looks kinda cool, and you still get a little bit of contrast in the floor. I do wish they could go a little further with that contrast though. Maybe paint those light posts a dark gray or even black. And if this was the 90s, you bet those would be pastel colors on the light posts. But overall, I like this mall. It's funky, and I think those smaller elements, like the food court platform and the fountain, they stand out a little bit more. Now, I wanted to take a look and see if livability played a role in this mall's decline. And as of right now, according to Area Vibes, Defiance is an interesting situation. Amenities, crime, schools, and cost of living are apparently all great, but there are two fatal flaws in the form of employment and housing. Average incomes are low and the town has a rather high poverty rate. And as for the housing problem, well, that's because there aren't many houses available for you to move to in the first place. I'd say the lack of income above all else has hurt this mall. No money means no shopping, and I'm willing to bet that this is what's hurting the mall. Defiance needs better jobs, and this is likely an ongoing problem throughout much of Ohio as we delve deeper into future malls here. And that just about wraps up the Northtowne Mall. What were your thoughts on this classic Ohio mall? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What should be done with the mall? Do share your thoughts down below in the comments. And subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for having me, Defiance, Ohio. And until next time, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you and the Northtowne Mall farewell and good luck in this strange time we live in. Remember that sci-fi show Defiance? Well, I guess that franchise crashed harder than this mall did.